Only one player in NBA history has averaged 32 plus points, 6 plus assists, and 1.5 plus steals while shooting above 50% from the field before this season, and that's Michael Jordan. And now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His rise isn't just impressive, it's historic, and the league isn't ready. In just 7 seasons, SGA has gone from a promising lottery pick in the 2018 NBA draft to a near lock for the MVP award year after year. And this season, he's playing like an unstoppable offensive machine. And here's the thing, it's not just that Shai is good, he's gotten too good and has reached a level where he's breaking the game. He's literally rewriting how modern defenses are supposed to work and exposing cracks that NBA teams didn't even realize existed. And make no mistake, the NBA has an SGA problem, and right now, nobody has the answer. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander today is a perennial MVP caliber player, the face of the NBA's best team, and the leader of a team that already feels like one of the next great NBA dynasties. This is a guy who didn't even make his high school varsity team as a freshman. There were no viral mixtapes or documentaries calling him the next big thing. He didn't start right away in college. He didn't start right away in the NBA either. And when OKC traded for him back in 2019 as a part of the Paul George deal, they weren't betting on getting a future top 3 player in the world. They were betting on potential, not certainty. Shai was a nice young piece for a rebuild, but he wasn't a surefire franchise guy the way a rookie like LeBron or Zion was. Nobody looked at Shai in his first couple of seasons and thought future MVP contender. He showed flashes of being good, even great at times, but not world-breaking. No matter what anyone claims now, there weren't many people outside of Shai himself who expected this level of dominance. His rise isn't just a surprise, it's a complete rewriting of expectations. At Kentucky, even among future NBA players, Shai stood out with his poise and leadership, quickly rising to SEC MVP before declaring for the NBA draft. Draft analysts loved his potential but saw him as more of a long-term project. Great size for a guard, smooth handle, and knack for finishing at odd angles. But nobody slapped future face of the league label on him. Even the ones high on Shai had to squint hard to imagine him reaching a level like this. His path to superstardom would have to be built the hard way, brick by brick, year after year. Nonetheless, Shai was selected 11th overall in the 2018 NBA draft by the Charlotte Hornets, but was immediately flipped to the Clippers. In his rookie year with the Clippers, Shai earned a starting role and proved himself as a reliable two-way guard, averaging 10.8 points on 47.6% shooting, 3.3 assists, 2.8 rebounds, and 1.2 steals a night, setting the stage for a breakout. By that offseason, the Clippers were hunting for stars and decided Shai, while promising, wasn't ready to be the centerpiece. They sent him, Danilo Gallinari, 5 first-round picks, and 4 first-round pick swaps to Oklahoma City in exchange for Paul George, one of the biggest trade hauls in NBA history. With the Westbrook and George era crumbling in OKC, Shai found himself as the unexpected new face of a rebuilding franchise. He made sure they didn't regret it. In his first season with the Thunder, SGA posted a strong 19 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 3.3 assists across 70 games, flashing a smooth in-between game and a knack for getting to his spots. By 2020, the Thunder as a whole fell apart, stumbling to just 22 wins. But underneath the wreckage, Shai quietly elevated his game. His averages jumped to 23.7 points, 5.9 assists, and 4.7 rebounds, numbers that would have looked even better if they were playing on a winning team. By the 21-22 season, anyone paying close attention could see the leap happening. Shai kept stacking numbers, putting up 24.5 points, 5.9 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Even as OKC finished as the second worst team in the West and 4th worst overall, no all-star nods, no big accolades, but the signs were there. The shift from good young player to problem for the rest of the league was already underway, just hadn't fully realized yet. Now, even though Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was already coming off 2 standout seasons in Oklahoma City, his true breakout arrived in 22-23. That year, he leveled up, posting averages of 31.4 points, 5.5 assists, and 4.8 rebounds per game. It was the kind of leap that couldn't be ignored anymore. Shai earned his first All-Star selection, a spot on the All-NBA first team, and finished 5th in MVP voting. The Thunder only managed 40 wins and missed the playoffs, but it was clear. SGA had officially entered the conversation as one of the league's best guards and, more importantly, as one of its best overall players. By the 23-24 season, Shai wasn't just on the rise anymore. He was firmly established among the elite. He put up 30.1 points, 6.2 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and 2 steals per game, once again earning an All-NBA first-team honors and another All-Star nod. OKC finished the regular season as the #1 team in the West, before falling in the second round to the eventual Western Conference champions, the Dallas Mavericks. Then came the 24-25 season, and SGA simply broke the mold. He delivered an MVP-caliber campaign that was nothing short of unstoppable. Shai averaged a career-best and league-leading 32.7 points per game, along with 6.4 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.7 steals, while shooting an efficient 51.7% from the field and 37.5% from 3, on a career-high 6.1 attempts per game. He led the league in free throws made, cashing them at just under 90%. This wasn't just a scoring explosion, it was a clinic in efficiency and control. Only Michael Jordan and James Harden have ever matched that rare statistical combination of at least 32 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1.5 steals on a true shooting mark over 60%. And Shai is right there with them. When you dig deeper into the advanced numbers, he's either leading or sitting near the top across almost every major metric, all while piloting OKC to a league-best 68-14 record. This isn't just great, this is full-blown domination. But to really understand why Shai is this dominant, you have to look beyond the numbers. SGA's greatness is best appreciated with the eyes, because he controls the game at his own pace and makes the league's best defenders look helpless. The first thing that jumps out about his game is how different it feels. In a league obsessed with threes and finishing at the rim, Shai is playing a throwback style with a modern twist. Today's defenses are built to take 2 things away: shots at the rim and shots from deep. Everything else, especially the mid-range, they're willing to live with. And that's exactly where Shai thrives. He's made the forgotten middle ground his personal playground, refusing to conform to the league's trends, and in doing so, becoming one of the hardest players to guard in the NBA. Look at his shot chart. It's almost unfair. At the rim, he's finishing at a ridiculous 61% clip, which is elite even by big man standards, let alone a guard. In the mid-range, he's just as deadly, hitting 53% from the left and 54% from the right, a zone where most players are stuck around the low 40s. Shai isn't just surviving in the mid-range, he's dominating it, making a living in the spots defenses are trained to ignore. His bag is deep too, whether it's pull-ups, step-backs, snatchbacks, crossovers, jabs, or ball fakes. Shai uses every tool to create space, and with his high, smooth release, most defenders are powerless to contest it. And for Shai, that so-called inefficient mid-range shot has become an art form. But another crucial part of Shai's game that makes him nearly unguardable is his crafty driving. While he's not necessarily an above-the-rim finisher, Shai is undeniably one of the craftiest drivers in the NBA, and it perfectly complements his pull-up and off-the-dribble game. Whether in the mid-range or deep in the paint, he's leading the league in drives per game this season with 20.7, marking the 5th straight year he's topped that category. Almost 3 more drives per game than the next player, Ja Morant. His field goal percentage on those drives is an impressive 56.7%, the best in the league. However, what makes Shai's drives so difficult to stop, despite not being the quickest or most explosive player on the floor, is his subtle use of hesitation and deceleration moves. Shai changes speed with ease, always keeping the defense on its toes, and thanks to his size, he only needs a slither of daylight to get his shot off. The real beauty comes when he combines multiple elements of his bag: hesitations, crossovers, in and out dribbles, spin moves, euro steps, and wrong foot finishes. These moves work together, making him an unstoppable offensive machine. So, when he gets a defender on his heels in transition, it's game over. Even if the defense manages to stop the fast break, Gilgeous-Alexander can still find his way to the rim, either finishing himself or setting up a simple pass to a perimeter shooter once he's got the attention of multiple defenders. So add his constant threat of driving with his deadly mid-range game, you've got a player who's always looking to score or draw fouls. And with his 86% career free throw percentage, he knows exactly how to capitalize on those opportunities. The key to Shai's dominance is that he rarely gets rattled by defenses. Modern defenses are built on a simple principle: give up the least valuable shots and protect the rim and three-point line at all costs. Defensive schemes today are designed around switching everything on the perimeter, playing drop coverage around pick and rolls, and packing the paint with mobile bigs who can deter drives. Teams are comfortable giving up mid-range jumpers because statistically, they're the least efficient shot in basketball. The math says it's a win, but the math never accounted for a player like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai doesn't play into the hands of modern defenses. He doesn't barrel to the rim every possession like a downhill bruiser, nor does he live or die by the three like most volume shooters. Instead, he finds and exploits pockets of space that defenses aren't designed to cover. The 10 to 18 foot range. Defenders are trained to either force a contested three or funnel players into a crowded paint. Against most players, that works. Against Shai, it's a death sentence. Once he gets into the mid-range, his footwork, timing, and body control turn every possession into a one-man clinic. The beauty of Shai's game is that it breaks defensive rules without even trying. Drop coverage, switching schemes, even help-heavy rotations, none of it matters when he's operating from 15 feet. When a player like Shai gets into the middle of the floor, the dead zone of modern defense, there's often no one there to stop him. He's too fast for bigs, too slippery for guards, and too smart to be rushed. Even from deep, he's selective and efficient. Instead of bombing away recklessly, he takes most of his frees from above the break, hitting a solid 37.7%. He's not relying on high variance shots to rack up points. Everything about his game is efficient, deliberate, and goes against what modern defenses expect. Then, on the other side of the ball, Shai's defense sets him apart even more. In the modern NBA, many guards are known for their scoring or passing, but not as many backcourt stars have developed into elite defenders. Shai, however, isn't like most guards. Standing 6'6", his size and strength make him capable of guarding anyone on the floor. Last season, Shai finished first in steals per game among all players, showcasing his ability to create turnovers and generate more offensive opportunities for his team. He also finished fourth in total blocks by guards during the 23-24 season, highlighting his interior defensive skills. This season, Shai remains a key defensive asset. He's top 15 in the NBA in steals with 1.7 per game and is the only player in the top 10 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. When you combine all of that, his scoring, playmaking, defense, and versatility, you've got one of the most well-rounded players in the game. And here's the scary part, he's still getting better. And if teams are struggling against him now, just wait until Shai hits his full prime. His combination of size, athleticism, and basketball IQ means he'll only continue to improve with age and become an even more dominant force in the league. But as great as a player like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can be, the team around him plays a huge role in either enhancing or limiting his impact. For Shai and the Thunder, OKC is the perfect fit. And when you have a player who drives as much as SGA does, the best way to complement him is by surrounding him with shooters and capable playmakers. Jalen Williams has emerged as a secondary star, an all-star who can create his own shot, taking pressure off Shai when defenses focus on him. Chet Holmgren brings size, rim protection, and exceptional shooting for a 5, stretching the floor and opening up even more driving lanes for Shai. Isaiah Hartenstein adds additional size and versatility, allowing the Thunder to mix up the defensive looks without losing their identity. Then you have Aaron Wiggins and the addition of Alex Caruso, one of the NBA's best perimeter defenders. This allows Shai to focus more on offense while others share the defensive load. Lou Dort continues to lock down opposing stars, and Jalen Williams provides reliability off the bench. As a result, OKC presents a nightmare matchup every night. Defenders can't just focus on Shai, because if they do, he'll quickly shift into playmaker mode. using his gravity to kick out passes to open shooters or cutters. Even without that attention, Shai remains an unstoppable offensive force, with a roster designed to unlock his full potential. No matter how you approach him defensively, it's a poison pill for opponents. So it is, a blend of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's exceptional play and the Thunder's deep, well-rounded roster has propelled OKC to one of the most impressive regular seasons in NBA history. They shattered the league's point differential record, finishing 16 games ahead of Houston in the West. But what's even more exciting is that this isn't just a one-off. With a star like Shai and a roster perfectly built to complement him, OKC is not only a title contender, but they're laying the groundwork for something much bigger. The truth is, the league doesn't have a simple solution for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Standing at 6'6", 180 pounds, and boasting a 6'11" wingspan, SGA is a point guard with the length of a small forward. He towers over most players at his position, which allows him to shoot over defenders and clamp down on them on defense. His high release point makes it nearly impossible for perimeter defenders to disrupt his shot. You can't switch easily, and you certainly can't zone him. And if you double team him, well, now you're just leaving OKC's shooters wide open, and that's when Shai makes you pay. Honestly, it feels like a player engineered in a lab, built specifically to break the game and destroy modern NBA defenses. Plus, we might be witnessing a rise unlike anything we've ever seen before in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went from coming off the bench to winning the SEC MVP in just 1 year of college. Then, he more than doubled his scoring from 10.8 to 23.7 points per game between his rookie season and year 3. By year 5, he was dropping 30 plus a night. And now, in year 7, he's putting together an all-time great offensive season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a serious problem for the league. And the scariest part, he's not even at his peak. So the question is, how do you stop Shai? Honestly, you might not. But hey, drop your game plan in the comments and hit that subscribe button if you believe SGA is coming for a championship soon. Until next time, keep your eyes on Shai.